Hello everyone. I gathered together 10 false facts about food for you. These 10 things I'm about to tell would be probably some things you believe as true for years. I will tell you one by one why these are wrong and what we should do. So, therefore make sure to watch till the end not to miss anything. Let's have a look. Number 1. It is healthier to use less oil while frying. No, it is not. When we fry we eat two things: 1, the food we fried, 2, frying oil. When we want to eat healthier fried food, we want the food to absorb as little oil as possible. We need to immerse the food in plenty of boiling oil, the temperature of which does not exceed 180 degrees to make sure that it absorbs less oil. In this way, the molecules in the outermost layer of the food are affected by the sudden temperature change and form a crusty layer. In this way, the food becomes crunchier and absorbs less oil. The more oil you use, the less possible for the oil to lose temperature when the food releases the juice in it. We are only talking about the amount of the oil when you fry. Using less oil when you cook using alternative ways is of course healthier. Number 2. Shellfish are aphrodisiacs. The issue of increasing sexual desire has caused many myths for centuries. If you believe this and you believe you have benefited from it, I don't want you to lose the placebo effect. So, you can skip this entry. Shellfish, especially oysters, are believed to have an aphrodisiac effect since they contain high amount of zinc. Zinc deficiency can lower the amount of testosterone and decrease sperm production. In fact, not just sexually, it can lead to health problems such as delayed growth, weakened immune system and anemia. But for these to happen, you have to be very malnourished or have malabsorption syndrome since most of the foods we eat like meat, fish, egg and grain contain zinc. Even after zinc supplements and consuming lots of oysters, an increase in libido hasn't been proved. Speaking of which, things such as cocoa, coffee, and alcohol, which are associated with sexual desire, also do not have a proven aphrodisiac effect. These are things that can only benefit you indirectly, by raising your emotional mood. Finally, let's mention that alcohol affects the central nervous system and does more harm than good for sexual power. Number 3. The broth is very nutritious. What? Mothers watching this video, please don't be mad at me because the broth is not beneficial or healing. When we boil meat, most of the essential ingredients remain in the meat. Only a handful of minerals, water-soluble vitamins, a few grams of fat and a few grams of protein go into the water. When meat is thrown into boiling water, a coagulation forms on its outer layers since it suddenly comes into contact with high heat, thus preserving most of the proteins in it. If you cut the meat into small pieces and put it in cold and unsalted water and start heating, the broth will be richer in taste, smell and protein because both the contact surface will increase and more protein will pass into the water until the outer layer coagulates. Yet again, the amount of protein in the broth is negligible. I have told this in case you want to use it when making soup. In summary, 100 grams of broth contains a few grams of protein and about 30 calories. So it's not nutritious. Its only benefit is that it can stimulate the nervous system and increase your appetite. Number 4. It is dangerous to swallow gum. There are several urban legends about gum, like it sticks to the intestines and causes weight gain. Even a gum is sugared, it only contains 20 to 30 calories at most, so it doesn't affect directly weight gain. It may even pacify your nervous hunger. However, we swallow a lot of air while chewing gum. This might cause bloating. So if you have stomach problems like reflux, chewing gum might make it worse. Yet, the belief about we cannot ingest gum if we swallow it is false. Gum is made by acacia, which isn't harmful for digestive system. So, it will not remain in your body forever if you swallow it. Number 5. Egg damages the liver. Egg is probably one of the most frustrated foods. Egg doesn't damage the liver. On the contrary, many components in the egg make the liver work better. One is methionine, which if we have deficiency for, causes fat liver. Eggs may even be beneficial in the treatment of some liver diseases. Yet, there is an exception here. Eggs may be damaging for those having gallbladder stone or gallbladder inflammation since it contains fat. Yet, people with this disorder might have discomfort whenever they eat fatty food since it causes the gallbladder cramp. So, this is not an egg-specific problem. Number 6. Bananas are the best source of potassium. Please don't take this as an insult to bananas. First of all, potassium is such an important mineral. Potassium is important for many vital activities, from the transmission of nerve signals, the contraction of muscles and to the control of blood pressure. Yet, so many foods contain potassium that it is unlikely to develop a deficiency for it. If someone has a potassium deficiency, it might be related to an underlying disorder and it can cause serious problems like kidney damage and cardiac arrhythmia. Let's talk about the potassium content in bananas. 100 grams of the edible part of the banana contains 350 milligrams of potassium. Now, we cannot say this is a low amount, yet we cannot regard it as the richest food potassium-wise since there are several foods containing more. Let's give you some examples for 100 grams. Potato contains 425, avocado contains 485, spinach contains 560, peanut contains 700 and dried apricots contain 1,160 milligrams of potassium. That doesn't mean bananas are lame. I think it is one of the best fruits. Now let's disprove the myth that bananas cause weight gain. There are 90 calories in 100 grams of banana and this isn't radically high compared to other fruits. In addition, it keeps you full and makes you happy. So, don't blame our beloved bananas after you ate 3 slices of bread with Nutella in the morning. Number 7. It is better to consume alcohol with energy drinks. Energy drinks are preferred especially by the young when drinking alcohol since it increases stamina. Now, let's have a look at why this is not a good thing. Energy drinks contain stimulants like taurine and caffeine as well as water sugar and sweeteners. The general opinion on this subject is that if you take alcohol with an energy drink, it will keep you up. Normally, alcohol has a sedative effect. It makes you mash after a while and if you drink too much, you will pass out. Yet, if you drink it with energy drinks, you keep drinking because of the artificial energy it gives you. This makes you unable to pass out and when you go on drinking, the alcohol level in your blood keeps increasing. Normally you should have already crept to one side, but in that drunkenness you stay awake and become a walking danger, because the effects of alcohol to weaken reflexes and reduce cognitive capacity are still active. Therefore you keep acting ridiculous. It has been observed that the combined consumption of alcohol and energy drinks causes falls, injuries, violent behavior and traffic accidents. Number 8. Drinking water while eating is harmful. It is said that drinking water while eating weakens stomach acid, making it difficult to digest. Actually, it is the opposite. Drinking water during meal both increases the feeling of fullness and facilitates digestion. It makes the foods more suitable for digestion and helps the stomach empty. Water also facilitates the production of secretions used for digestion because the production of these secretions uses a large amount of water. If you do not drink enough water, the glands in the stomach have to take the missing water from another part of the body, which can prolong the digestive process. In summary, do not afraid of drinking water while eating. Number 9. Eating sweets causes diabetes. Diabetes is one of the most common and serious illnesses. First of all, let's describe the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes, which are confused a lot. Type 1 diabetes is the most dangerous type of diabetes. It occurs suddenly, generally during childhood or puberty, and the causes are environmental and genetic. The basic feature is the lack of insulin. Insulin carries nutrients from the blood to the tissues. In the case of insulin deficiency, both adequate nutrients cannot be transported to the tissues and the sugar in the blood continues to rise. Type 2 diabetes is much more common and accounts for 90% of all diabetes cases. It is most common among obesity patients. In type 2 diabetes, the pancreas produces enough insulin, but insulin cannot function because of resistance in the receptors in the target cells. As a result, the pancreas produces more insulin, and if the disease progresses, it gradually reduces insulin production and things get more serious. Nutrition is effective in having type 2 diabetes. Like I said, it is most common in obesity patients. Yet, genetics is important in terms of the development of the disease. So, be more careful if there are people with type 2 diabetes in your family. The most common treatment is losing excessive weight, being more active and having a healthy nutrition and lifestyle. In cases where this is not enough, drug treatment is applied. Now let's go back to the beginning. Eating sweets is not the only cause of diabetes. All foods that cause calorie intake in excess of the need can cause diabetes. Even if you don't eat sugar, if you have a high-calorie diet and don't get enough exercise, you're inviting diabetes. As long as you follow daily calorie limits and without making it a habit, you can eat your favorite desserts from time to time. I'm not telling these in order to say you can eat as much dessert as you want. On the contrary, I'm trying to say not only consuming sugar by itself, but also having a high-calorie diet and excessive weight can cause diabetes. And number 10, the vitamin of the fruit is in its peel. No, it's not. It's the opposite. Since the most important substances found in the fruit are water-soluble, the vitamins are not in the peel, but in the interior, which is the most juicy and fleshy. The duty of the peel of the fruit is to protect the fruit. A large part of these peels consist of insoluble fibers. In terms of nutrition, it contains nothing but a few antioxidants such as quercetin and anthocyanin. Since the peel is about 5% of the fruit, it contains a little amount of these substances. It might be helpful not in terms of nutrition but the feeling of fullness. Yet you need to wash them really well in order to purify them from the harmful substances like pesticides. These are the 10 false facts about foods. Write your thoughts in the comments. We are such a fresh channel and your support by watching and liking our videos and subscribing to our channel is so important to us. See you in the next video.